Olá, bem-vindos à Igreja no Mundo, o programa da Fundação AES Ajuda à Igreja que Sofre. Sou Paulo Aito e hoje convido-vos a ver um filme que vai ocupar todo o programa, que é sobre a Armênia, uma congregação feminina em que as irmãs cuidam de jovens e de crianças mais favorecidos. Vamos ver.
My definition of communism is a system that kills humanity in men. They succeeded in that. In killing that feeling of caring for the other people. Family for Armenians came first. They would sacrifice everything for the family in the past.
Armenia is an extraordinary Transcaucasian country lying just south of the great mountain range of the Caucasus and fronting the northwestern extremity of Asia, a land marked by evidence of human habitation going back many thousands of years. It is here that, according to legend, Noah's Ark came to rest on the peak of Holy Mount Ararat. Armenia was also the first country to adopt Christianity as early as 315 AD. But it is also a country of great suffering, crushed and defeated over the centuries by powerful neighbors, Persia, the Roman and Ottoman empires, and finally the Soviet regime. A victim of genocide when Turks murdered around 1.5 million Armenians in 1915 to 1923, today a clear majority live beyond Armenia's borders.
I was born in Aleppo, lived between Syria and Lebanon. And since these two countries were French mandate, so in the schools, it was the French program that we followed. I spoke Armenian in the family and I spoke also Turkish in the family because both my parents came from a city in Turkey, Marash. So it was Turkish at home, Armenian in the school, and with the French program.
When young Arusiak attended school, Armenia was ruled by an oppressive communist regime. After the First World War, Armenia declared independence, but enjoyed it for a mere 2 years. As early as 1920, part of Armenia was taken over by the Turks, whilst the rest was incorporated into the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Armenia's Apostolic Church was first persecuted and then closely supervised, whilst the Catholic Church was liquidated and all its priests either deported to Siberia or murdered.
My vocation, I would say, began at age 12. Then later on, at age 16, 17, it started to kind of stumble, you would say, because I fell in love with a boy, and it was a very, very difficult decision at the time to make. All the neighbors would say we were 4 girls in the family. The other 3 will become religious, but not this one. So it so happened that I was the naughty one. I could never silence the voice that was in me, calling me to religious life. I came to visit Armenia in 1976, and I saw the misery in the country.
Countries incorporated into the USSR suffered a far harsher regime than countries allowed even a modicum of independence. Nobody could stand up for countries such as Armenia. To survive, people had to think and behave as the authorities dictated. People became objects whose sole aim in life was production. The whole economy was geared not to meeting the needs of its citizens, but rather to building a military power. Even food wasn't freely available to buy, but had to be fought for.
In front of the hotel window, there was a grocery place where they were selling tomato, cucumbers. And from 4 a.m., there used to be a line, like maybe half a kilometer long line, people who wanted to buy something. I got in line at 5:30 a.m. I said, I like to see what it is to get in this line. And we approached. There were 7 people left before me. Suddenly, the window closed, and he said, for today, no more. You have to come back tomorrow. I said, how many days have you been coming? They said, if you really want to have something, you have to start at 4 a.m. But sometimes they said, we don't get up early, we're tired. You see what happened? We came at 5 and we couldn't buy anything. Now we have to go to another place and see if we can find something there. And I said, would you take me with you? I used to say, well, I am born an Armenian. Then I said, my ideal is Christ. The way he has been so close to his people, then I have to be very close to my people.
The nuns look after several hundred poverty-stricken families, otherwise unable to support themselves on a regular basis. Sometimes it's only about providing for their survival.
May I? Good afternoon, child. How are you?
I'm well.
Is Mummy at home?
Yes.
Yes? Where is she? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, please take a seat over here. Hey, you. Come. How are you? Well? Yes, you have grown up into a good boy. Geretsik, for example, today, what did you eat for lunch? What did the children have for lunch today? Nothing. I simply heated this. You had nothing to eat this morning? No. You haven't eaten anything up to now? No, only bread. What will you cook for tomorrow? For tomorrow? Nothing.
Today in Armenia, the poverty level is very, very high. And I think maybe during Soviet times we didn't have the starving people. But today we have a starving people. During Soviet times, their salaries were very low, but people could survive.
Armenia regained its independence following the collapse of the USSR in 1991. Nonetheless, the poverty inherited from communist times intensified. Unemployment grew and today stands at nearly 90%. There are precious few signs of any improvement anytime soon, whilst in the meantime, empty factories decay and fall into ruin.
During communism, who cared for values? Religious values were completely put aside, and now our people are completely confused. They're not bothered when they lie. They're not bothered when they cheat. It's a very natural thing for them. In 1994, we started our camp program. That was the result of many students that we would meet every day in our classrooms who would come to school without breakfast. So we decided that we will have this camp program. At least for 3 weeks, these children would have different type of life.
Behave yourselves. Sit down and be good. I gave Ripsik your bag. You will collect it on your arrival, all right? Sit quietly. Goodbye.
И тогда наверняка вдруг запляшут облака, и кузнечик запиликает на скрипке. С голубого ручейка начинается река, ну а дружба начинается с улыбки. Перестанут самые грустные дожди, а с улыбкой прыгать сидеть. С голубого ручейка начинается река, ну а дружба начинается с улыбки.
It is a long way. It's a very long way. We constantly talk about discipline. You cannot do at all times what you want to do. In life, we have to give up things. But you have to start that very early with them, that they will be able to give to others what they are receiving here.
I welcome everybody to the Mother of God, patron of Armenia camp. I know that the majority of you have neither father nor mother, though I also know that you have guardians where you come from. Your guardians are not here, but there are others who will stand in for your guardians.
We want them to eat to their full, because many of them don't eat to their full at home. And during the camp, we give them clothing, we give them shoes, we give them many things. We want them to forget for some time their life circumstances, the poverty, all that.
Children come to the camps from all over Armenia. Thousands apply every year, leaving the sisters to choose those most in need. There are places at every camp reserved for handicapped children. Mother Teresa's sisters bring them to the camps.
They can stay in this complex.
What will we do now?
Now we have to clear up everything, arrange the clothes. Later,
We will go to eat.
we will go to eat and we will play afterwards.
How will we play?
Singing, dancing.
Singing? Dancing? I don't know any poems.
You will learn.
I know a poem about a bird.
Two commandments of love. First, we write, that is the title. Two commandments of love. The first, you shall love. You shall love with a capital letter. You shall love first. You shall love. You shall love. You shall love. You shall love the Lord your God. You shall love the Lord your God. The Lord, the Lord, the Lord, your Lord, your God. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Sit down and write. Second, you shall love your neighbor. You shall love your neighbor as yourself, with all your soul. Have you written that down? Yes.
Major reason for our camp program is for these children to meet Christ so that they will be able to accept their life circumstances from the hands of the God. There must be a reason in God's plan for them.
Օրհնություն եւ փառքոր եւ օրհնվո եւ հոգուի սրբո այժմ եւ միշտ եւ հավիտյանս հավիտենից ամեն
Հեղման բարյան կոսուր աղաչեմ կսկես ողորմյա արյան քո բրգյալ հոտի
որպեսի եւ ցիսա ամենեցուն մեզ մերձեցելոց հանդարտապարտություն իքավություն որի չյալի երկնից բաշխելի միջիներու սայեկյամ հույս հարություն խաղություն և հորություն Սաղմոս ասաց հետ դիարմոս տուծողներով Սաղմոս ասաց հետ երկնավոր թագավորի սիրելով անվանի որ իսկի գալիս
The first year we only had 150 children. And then the benefactors bought this place for us. Now this was a place where we could have many, many children. And that was the reason where from 300 we grew up to initially 600 and then to 800.
Very many children suffer in Armenia because of broken families. A strong patriarchal family model with the father as provider and responsible head of the family, survived in Armenia for centuries. Today, after 70 years of communism, a substantial number of husbands and fathers destroy their families as unemployed alcoholics. Thanks to the help of benefactors, Sister Aruziak acquired a building which has enabled her to house some of the children that had nowhere to return to after the camp ended.
Hello. I will show you our home, in which we live with all the children. Everything here is wonderful. This is our kitchen, in which our favorite cooks, Mrs. Sirian, Mrs. Lena, and Mrs. Sveta prepare lunch. We are now upstairs, where we have rooms in which the children sleep. They make their own beds, clean their things and their rooms. This is the hall in which the children play.
We have different organizations that bring the children. The police would bring the children, or neighbors that would bring the orphans. There was a time when we had 65 children, but we noticed that the number was too high for the number of nuns who were there, and they each need individual attention because they're coming from broken families. They need much attention. We have some children that the mothers would like to keep them, but the police has brought them to us because their mother is on the streets all day long. There are reasons why these children are with us.
I would so very much like to take your sadness upon myself. Don't cry. Why do you cry? I am here after all. I would so much like to take your sadness away. How are you? What are you doing?
Nothing. These are trousers. My sister was ironing my clothes. Tell us something about Mother.
She is presently working at Goskom in the city administration. I'll tell you, it's no disgrace to be sure. I'll tell you that I sweep the streets. What am I to do? There is no other work here in the country or in our village. I was married and then I divorced. He is an ill man. And I will also tell you that I have 4 children. 3 are here in this home. One of my daughters is mentally ill. One could say that she is highly strung. She presently lives with me. I also came here with my brother and sister, who could not have come without me. And so they came with me so that we could be together. The flat is badly equipped. There is only 1 bed, 1 mattress. We don't even have a blanket. We covered ourselves with 1 coat throughout the winter, with children's clothes under our head. Will my children stick it out? Tell me. We adults, we will endure, but the children cannot. And we will go home and we will stay home for 3 months. After the holidays, when school starts, we will once again come here. I will be sad without our children, with whom I am But we have to go back home, to be close to Mother for a little while. Sister Arusiak prays for us.
There's no stop with our needs. But of course, the greatest need is for me to be able to pay for all the expenses of this camp season. I don't have all the money for this camp season, but I planned to have all 4 groups, leaving the problem to the Lord. He has to do something. I don't know what he's going to do, but he has to do something. My dream for my whole life has been to become a saint. But I'm very far away from that. So now I say to the Lord, when I die, just give me a corner in your great heaven. That's my dream, is to get there and to take as many people with me as possible.
E com este filme sobre a Arménia, sobre o trabalho destas irmãs que tomam conta de crianças e de jovens mais favorecidos na Arménia, um dos países cristãos mais antigos do mundo, chegamos ao fim deste programa. Eu conto consigo no próximo programa e até lá, se Deus quiser.